Hey everyone, this is Scott from the Forgot to Grow podcast. Welcome to another edition of ReWatching STAR TREK DISCOVEry. Today I'm going to be talking about Season 1, Episode 9, Into the Forest I Go. I'm just going to be starting off with the plot summary and then just talking about my general thoughts about this episode. So the plot summary goes, Lorca is ordered to flee before the Klingons arrive, but disobeys orders to protect the life forms on Pavo and their chances of detecting the cloaked Klingon ships. When the Klingons arrive, Tyler and Burnham transport to their ship and plant sensors that will help create an algorithm for detecting the cloaked ships. They find an alive Cornwell hidden with Laurel, but encountering the latter sends Tyler into shock due to his PTSD from her torturing him. Lorca has Stamets make 133 microjumps in order to provide a three-dimensional reading of the sensors, while Burnham distracts Cole by challenging him to a fight. The jumps are complete, though not without trauma to Stamets. When the algorithm is calculated, Burnham, Tyler, Cornwell, and Laurel are transported back to the Discovery and the Klingon ship is destroyed. Stamets volunteers to make one last jump to safety, but tells Lorca it will be his last. However, Lorca changes the coordinates and they jump to an unknown destination surrounded by debris from Klingon ships. So I really liked this episode, guys. I really enjoyed the way they decided to solve this Klingon cloaking problem, meaning in the show and in the universe, they had to come up with a solution, and they figured out a little one, and they took the one thing that the Discovery has over every other ship and used it to the advantage of getting these scanner readings all in a matter of like 4 minutes, I think they said. And I've really enjoyed the creativity of that idea, the idea of just jumping around, taking pretty much a bunch of data shots around the thing, gathering all this information to come up with an algorithm. So it's very sciencey, and I enjoyed that aspect of this Star Trek episode. I also enjoyed that we get Burnham kind of having to man up on this mission. She's always the toughest one. I don't like that term, man up, but she had to take leadership because Tyler was having to deal with his PTSD. So it was kind of cool to see her having to kind of go out on just solo and deal with the Klingons, challenge Cole, and then get Captain Georgiou's badge thing back, the communicator badge thing back, and I just really enjoyed that little aspect of it. What else did I like about this episode? I like how they figure out. There's not a whole lot to say because they spend most of this episode just trying to figure that problem out, and it's kind of enjoyable the way they figured it out. But I do like where we leave this episode off, them being in some mystery place that they don't know of. Obviously, for those who have already watched the season before, we already know that they're in a parallel freaking dimension, and I like that they hinted to that at the beginning of this episode. At one point, they're talking about the possibility of parallel universes and the spore drive being able to travel to them, and at the end Lorca seems to Lorca does something with the coordinates and they end up there. So I really enjoyed that part of this, and that we get to the mirror universe in the next episodes, and I just really enjoyed that part of this season and this episode. That's how it ends off. That's just my general thoughts about this episode. Thanks for joining me today. Be sure to let me know in the comments below any of your thoughts on this particular episode of Star Trek Discovery. Thanks again for joining me, and have a good one.